Hi everyone, welcome to Netgate Chemistry. So there was one topic left in chemical bonding and that is Bent's rule. So before starting Bent's rule, we need to understand one or two concepts, then we'll move on to the rule. Okay, so first we are going to study about the classification of species on the basis of percentage S character. See, on the basis of percentage S character, we can classify the species in two ways. First will be your S files and second will be your S non-files. Files means loving, right? So the species which love percentage S character, they will come under the category of S files. So S files will be like your lone pair, your triple bond, your double bond. These will come into the category of S files because they love percentage S character. Basically, they like to be near to the nucleus. Right, that is why they love percentage S character. So now we'll talk about S non-files. These are all the electronegative groups which do not like to reside near to the nucleus. They like electrons around them. For example, your fluorine, chlorine, CF3 group, etc. All the electronegative groups, right? So this is all about the classification, that is S files and S non-files. Now second thing which we are going to understand is the sp3 dehybridization. If a compound is having sp3 dehybridization, then it can have two types of geometries, that is trigonal bipyramidal and square pyramidal. Right, if the geometry is trigonal bipyramidal, then this hybridization has taken place by the mixing of the orbitals which are s, px, py, pz, basically your s and all the p orbitals, along with dz square. This is very important. In trigonal bipyramidal, the d orbital which we take is dz square. Okay, in square pyramidal, the orbitals will be s plus px plus py plus pz plus dx square minus y square. Okay, this trigonal bipyramidal geometry, if we see, it is like this. Central atom will be present here, three atoms will be present in the plane forming a triangle, right, attached with this central atom. Okay, and one will be above this plane and one will be below this plane. This is your trigonal bipyramidal geometry, right? In this geometry, see your s, your px, py and pz along with dz square. Why we have taken dz square? Because two of these bonds which are formed, these are formed in z direction, so dz square is required. Okay, along with pz and dz square undergo mixing and form hybridized orbital here. Okay, so this is your trigonal bipyramidal geometry. Here two of these bonds, these are called your axial or apical bonds. These are your axial or apical bonds, and these three bonds which are in a plane, these are known as your equatorial bonds. Right, if we look at the angles between these bonds, then it will be, these are the three atoms which are present in a same plane, right? The angle between this bond and this bond, this will be 120 degrees, right? And the angle between this bond present between this central atom and the atom present above this plane, that will be, and the angle, sorry, the bond which is this one, the central atom and one of the atoms which is present in the plane, the angle between this bond and this bond, that will be 90 degrees. Okay, this angle will be 120 and this angle is going to be 90 degrees because these three atoms are in the plane. This is above, making an angle of 90 degree with this bond. Okay, similarly with this bond also, and similarly with this bond also. With each of these three bonds, this bond is having an angle of 90 degrees. Now we know that percentage S character is directly proportional to the angle, right? So here your axial bonds, these bonds, they are having angle of 90 and your equatorial bonds are having angle of 120 degree. So your axial bonds will be preferred by S non-files. Okay, why? See, percentage S character is directly proportional to theta, and theta is less in case of these bonds. These are your axial bonds. For axial bonds theta is less, and for equatorial bonds theta is more. So your equatorial bonds will have more percentage S character, right? You can star mark this. Equatorial bonds have more percentage S character. Also you can see that these bonds are shorter and stronger, so they are having more percentage S character. So S files, these S files, what they do, they S files, they like your equatorial positions. Okay, why? Because equatorial positions have more percentage S character. Why more percentage S character is there? Because equatorial bonds have more bond angle, and percentage S character is directly proportional to the angle. So your equatorial bonds, or you can say your S files, will like or prefer equatorial positions. Okay, and your axial bonds, they have less as percentage S character. Why? Because axial bonds have less angle. They are having less angle, so they are having less percentage S character. So because they are having less percentage S character, so S non-files will prefer these positions, these axial positions, because these axial positions have less percentage S character. So S non-files will prefer axial positions. So whenever a question is asked about the geometry, then you have to remember these 2 points, that all the S files will prefer your equatorial positions and S non-files will prefer your axial positions. Okay, I hope this is clear why this kind of preference is there. I will repeat once again that these axial bonds are having less angle. So what happens? Because axial bonds have less angle, so they will be having less percentage S character, and your S non-files, they do not like your percentage S character, so they will prefer axial bonds instead of equatorial bonds, because equatorial bonds have more percentage S character. Why more percentage S character? Because they have more angle. More angle means more percentage S character. So more percentage S character is liked by S files. So your lone pair, triple bond, double bond, they like to be near the nucleus, so they will prefer these positions, your equatorial positions. Okay, so this is actually the saying by Bend's rule, which we are going to discuss now. So before starting on the geometries of various molecules, what you should remember is that your S files like double bond, triple bond and lone pair, they prefer equatorial positions. right? And your S non-files, like all the electronegative groups, they prefer axial positions. Okay, and one more thing which I wanted to discuss was the square pyramidal geometry, right? Square pyramidal geometry, in which the geometry is like this: central metal atom is present here, 4 atoms will be present like this in that same plane, making bond with the central atom. Okay, these 5 are present in the same plane, and one atom or one ligand, you can say, that will be present above this plane. So this is your square pyramidal geometry. So you can see that for this kind of molecule to form, you will need dx square minus y square orbital. That is why we prefer dx square minus y square in square pyramidal geometry, right? dx square minus y square. So this was about the square pyramidal. Now we'll discuss some of the molecules and how to place the ligands in those molecules. So first molecule which we are going to discuss is PCl4F. Okay, now phosphorus is going to form 5 bonds, right? So 3 bonds will be like this in the plane, and 2 bonds will be like this, right? These are the 2 axial bonds and these are the 3 equatorial bonds. Now we know that S files are going to prefer equatorial positions and S non-files will prefer axial positions. So if we have both of these electronegative groups, then the one which is more electronegative, that will be called more S non-file type of a group. So it will first prefer the axial positions. Out of Cl and F is more electronegative, so first we'll place F at axial positions. So there is one F, so we'll give 1 axial positions to this F. So remaining 4 Cl can attach at all the 4 sides. Okay, if we have a second molecule like PF3Cl2, then again there are 3 and 2 bonds like this. So first we'll place the fluorine at axial positions. 2 fluorine will be placed like this. There is 1 fluorine remain, so that will be at any of these 3 positions. Now 2 Cl are left, so they can accommodate these 2 sides. Okay, now if we talk about another molecule, that is your SeF4. Okay, now what happens here? See, Se will be here. Now selenium will be having 1 lone pair also. Okay, that you have to remember, that selenium will be, because it is from oxygen family, so in order to have 6 electrons in the valence shell, it will have 1 lone pair. So how we'll place that? See, 3 bonds will be like this and 2 bonds like this. So first, now lone pair comes under the category of S files, and S files prefer equatorial positions. So first place your lone pair at any of the equatorial positions. Now 4F are left, they can occupy the remaining 4 sites. Okay, now very important molecule, SOCH3 Now 5 positions will be like this. Now here your oxygen is bonded to sulfur as double bond, right? Your sulfur and oxygen are bonded with double bond. So what you have to remember is that CH3 group, this CH3 group is less electronegative than your oxygen, but still what happens, this double bond O will go to equatorial position instead of this axial position. Why this happens? Because your O is divalent species. So always remember that all the divalent species, they occupy your equatorial position. The divalent species always occupy equatorial positions. Okay, so first, if you see any divalent atom in your molecule, so first place that divalent atom at one of the equatorial positions. Okay, then the remaining ligands can attach anywhere. Okay, so you can star mark this compound, right? Now there is one more important molecule like SCF3, CF2, CH3, 2F. Now how to place these? First, sulfur will be present here. Positions will be like this. Now first look for divalent atoms, divalent groups. So here your CF2 is divalent group. This is not divalent. CF3 is not divalent. Instead it is an electronegative group, but CF2 is a divalent group. So first it will be placed here at equatorial position. Now you have one F, one CF3 and two CH3 groups. So we have more electronegative group like F. So this will occupy your axial position. Now F is placed. One more electronegative group, that is CF3, and also not divalent. This will also occupy this axial position. Now remaining two CH3 groups will come here. Okay, this is also an important example. So with this, what Bent's rule has to say, this is actually all about the Bent's rule. Bent's rule says that all the electronegative groups, they prefer your axial positions, and all the double bond, triple bond and your lone pair, they prefer your equatorial position. This is what Bent's rule says. Okay, this is about the Bent's rule. So basically, if we are clear with our concept, then Bent's rule is not that tough. Okay, what it says is electronegative group will come to axial positions, and your lone pair, triple bond, double bond will prefer equatorial positions. Now why this is so, that concept we have understood. Okay, so with this, Bent's rule is over. So whatever topics we are going to cover, our main aim will be to cover all the concepts of that topic and not leaving any single concept from that topic. So that's why when I saw the previous year questions, I realized that Bent's rule was not completed, so I made a video on that. Okay, so I hope this is going to be helpful for you. Also, my advice would be, if you are starting out with a topic, never leave any of the concepts of that topic. It is going to be very dangerous because we cannot predict which concept will be asked in the exam from a particular topic. So if you are choosing a particular topic, so try to complete all the concepts related to that topic and never leave any single concept from that topic. You can have choices between the topics, but never leave any concept if you are choosing a topic. Okay, so so far that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching.